Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for another webinar. My name is Anya Chrysanthemum, and hopefully you all know who I am already. And I'm going to be your hostess with the mostest as always. Today, we're going to be talking about Anewgo Marketplace, and specifically, we're going to be showing you some of the unique features that really make Anewgo Marketplace different from all the other new home portals out there. Joining me today is Sarah Williams, who is our Director of Sales, and John Lee, who is our CEO. So before I have them introduce themselves, chat is open. So I would love to hear where you are dialing in from today. And please feel free to ask questions. I will monitor the chat during this webinar. So again, thank you so much for joining us today, and let's jump in. So Sarah, why don't we start with you? If you can introduce yourself, please.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining today. I'm Sarah Williams. I'm the Director of Sales. I've been here at Anewgo for 2 years, but I'm going in my 20th year in the industry. I used to work for home builders before I got into the tech space 8 years ago. I've sold houses on site. I've ran and been an online sales counselor, and I've run marketing departments for home builders. Like I mentioned, I've been in the tech side of things for about 8 years now. And Anewgo, when I joined Anewgo 2 years ago, we were talking about AI and how search is going to change and how everything is going to change in the industry. And a lot of people thought, what is she talking about? Well, guys, here it is. This is the marketplace. This is what we've been working on for 2 years since I've been here. And I'm so excited for you guys to see how we're different and how search is going to change. And how the marketplace is going to change search for you all, for agents and for home builders.
Hey guys, I'm John Lee. I'm the CEO here, and I was the founder of Rendering House back in 2001, which became Anewgo, made a new go of it in 2020. And with that change, we became more of a software company. We still do all the visualizations, but now we're able to utilize some of the latest and greatest technologies, and it really is the culmination of a lot of things coming together here to create this marketplace. So with that, I think, Anya, do I have permission to get started?
Go ahead. The floor is yours, John. Take it away.
Right. So why the Anewgo Marketplace? We just launched our Anewgo Marketplace last month, and it really has been in the works for 2, 3, 4 years now. It's started out with our My Home app that a lot of our builders have used in their websites and all the way to the sales center kiosks. But just getting back to basics here, why is it, first of all, called Anewgo Marketplace? Well, unlike a portal, because at its core, it's a portal. But the reason we're called a marketplace is because in addition to being a fine design and experience, that we're going to enable the buyers to actually buy it online, like an Amazon marketplace. But let's talk about the portal advantages. I mean, a lot of consumers that shop for homes, they're going to portals because portals are a content aggregator. And for consumers, that's great because it's a one-stop shop. You know, they can go in there and look across thousands of builders, plans, communities, and options. Also, with a portal, it has a great scale and reach. People can remember Zillow, they can remember Realtor.com. So there's a great marketing aspect to it. But because it's built for a large audience, it can scale with it, and it can continue to grow in its reach and add more and more consumers on there without basically, overturning the servers and slowing things down. The other advantage is it offers the latest and greatest in technology because it's primarily built as a software platform. So every time there's a new feature upgrade, everybody in its universe is upgraded, all the users and all the suppliers to it. And one of the big things right now is with AI. You're starting to see that, hey, when AI is introduced, Zillow and Redfin, those guys are able to implement this almost overnight. And the other thing that we're starting to see, and this happens in other industries, is that the marketplace and the portals are becoming the top of the funnel. Traditionally in our industry, it's really been the websites, and that's really been driven by Google. And as we'll get into here, as search engines change, as SEO changes, as traffic changes, and as consumer behavior changes, you're going to see more and more people starting at the top of the funnel in a portal. But the key to our industry, which is really buying new homes online, which is a very complex, personalized experience, the key is to be able to provide personalization at a massive scale online, which is pretty much like Facebook or Amazon. So now why the Anewgo Marketplace? Well, for me, I've been doing this for over 2 decades, like I said, and it's really simple. follow the customers. It's a natural evolution. We want to follow the online shopping journey. And one of the things that I've seen is now that the millennials have grown up, and they've actually grown up with e-commerce and video games online, and they haven't grown up riding around with grandma real estate agent picking up brochures at farm fields. So as they do more and more online in their daily lives, they're expecting that continuous journey when they buy the most complex purchase of their life. So what we want to do, and this is why we came Anewgo, is we want to provide that online end-to-end shopping journey, from being able to find it, design it, even virtually experience it, and be able to ultimately buy it online. Now, all along this information superhighway, they can always take the exit to meet somebody offline. At some point here, there will be a human interaction, but we want to let them be able to stay online as long as they can, as long as they want. Complex shopping journey involves that them going to many different channels. So in addition to the portal, the marketplace, buyers may still go to the builder's website, just like on Amazon, you may still go to the vendor's website to learn about it in more detail and really understand the builder story. But you may ultimately go to the community sales center. So what I'm saying is we need to have this omni-channel journey. That's a continuous journey. And I'm using the acronym here, SWILLO. Start where you left off. It needs to be like Netflix. You cannot start off on season 1, episode 1 every time you change channels or change devices or change locations. And it's even like if you see like on Expedia when you travel, you may start off on Expedia to look at all the different airlines, but then, hey, I decided to go to American Airlines. Well, when you go to the American Airlines website, you want to see that same content, the same prices, everything needs to be in sync with data. When you register there, when you get to the airport, at the sales kiosk for American Airlines, your information needs to pop up. You should not have to restart the process. So we want to do the same thing with the customer shopping journey. The other part about this is not only does it need to be at this massive scale and omni-channel and end-to-end, but the buyers are doing this and they want to do this in a private way because they're putting in their finances, they're putting in their desires, they're inviting their collaborators with them. So there needs to be this private buyer shopping cart that goes across all these channels. And now with AI, you may even have some AI guidance along this complex, never done before shopping journey. Now, the other part of this evolution is actually this tech revolution that's now really changing the online shopping experience. So using technology, we also want to allow the buyers to learn, explore, and shop new. Shopping new is a totally different experience and a better experience, if we can make it, than an existing home. And one of the things that we learned from Zillow is, 25% of the people are actually on the portal. Only 25% of the people on the portal are actually shopping. A lot of them are just playing around, they're learning about it. So we actually want to start the shopping experience very early in the process before they're even ready to buy. So we want to let them be able to come and learn all about new construction, all the latest trends, see videos, we're going to have a section called Playhouse, so they can just Playhouse and on design and share, and then and learn about different materials and processes as they click on it. The other part about the omni-channel piece with the shopping experience is that journey needs to be personal and it needs to be multimodal. Multimodal means with AI is that you should be able to text, you should be able to have a verbal conversation, you should be able to communicate visually with images and videos. So we want to make it at different channels, whatever is probably the most effective ways to communicate. The other part of it, in addition to being a private buyer's portal, it also needs to be collaborative. So it's not a solo shopping experience. It needs to bring in all your co-buyers, your agent, your builder, so you can all work on this process together. And again, if we can introduce AI to assist in that shopping experience to make it a wonderful customer enjoyable experience, then we want to introduce that as well. And this is going to have dramatic impact on both the channels and the content. And you, particularly for marketing people, you're going to have to move from dumb content, which means there's no data associated with it. It's just a, abc.jpg to actually having the DNA for what that particular product is. And you cannot just use static content. So just one generic house represents all the thousands of different variations. It needs to be interactive, and that interactive is driven by the consumer, and which is what AI is doing. It can no longer be generic. It needs to be a personalized experience because they're not just buying a house, they're buying their new house. And it cannot just be a solo experience. It needs to be a collaborative experience. Whenever I want to bring my spouse into this, they should be to jump right into my shopping experience. So why the Anewgo Marketplace versus other portals? Well, first of all, we are exclusively all new homes. We know that builders' biggest competition is actually using existing homes. So we can focus on all the advantages of buying new and all the disadvantages of buying used. And one of the things that we bring in versus other new home portals is we also allow the buyers to be able to design their homes. Now, you may have some undesignable homes and you just want to use just some generic representation, but we can allow the buyers to now design it and price it, as well as bring in inventory homes. So with real current prices and even down to the site plans lots. The other thing that we bring in addition to community homes and builders is that we can bring the build on your land builders into this. They've been largely left out of the portals because they don't show up in a Google search. They don't show up really on promoted communities and such. Now they can have their day in the sun. And we basically show the consumers which counties they build in. So as you click on a certain county, you can know all the right builders for that. We are exclusively non-exclusive. And what I mean is we bring in national builders, regional builders, local builders, family-owned builders. The people will never make it in the first 2 pages on Google. Well, now with AI, you will show up where you need to show up to the right people based on the right matches. And we also want to bring in all types of builders because buyers are shopping across all different types of builders and introduce them to different types of builders. So custom and semi-custom home builders, they love using our interactive design products because they allows them to show all the customization. Even entry-level buyers, they may not be able to design their home, but they still want to see how their home looks like. If they want a blue house, they don't want to see it in red. So we at least let the builders be able to export all those different colors. But also entry-level people, buyers are very sensitive, and primarily these are millennials. They grew up online. They want to see how the price is and how it relates to their mortgage payments. So we can allow them to interactively price and shop to their affordability. Obviously, luxury home builders, they really love the virtual tours to be able to sell that $2 million house that's never been built before. And then manufactured modular builders, they don't really have things on site. They do a lot of pre-sales. So interactive design and being able to let people visualize and buy online is actually going to be very popular and effective for them in marketing. The other thing that we're going to utilize is using AI. We're going to converge search, social, and e-commerce. Those are traditionally been disparate marketing channels. And the way we're going to do it is, first of all, we're going to make a new go-to destination to learn, explore, and shop new homes. Like I said, most people are looking way before they're actually buying and learning about it. There's not really been a gotten milk campaign for new homes. We want to make that easily learnable and accessible and make it a fun experience. And part of the reason we call it Anewgo is not just don't buy new homes the old way, make a new go of it, but it's really trying to promote a Anewgo lifestyle and community, because most of the reasons that people move or buy new homes is because there's something that has changed in their life. So you're making a new go of it. You just got a new job, you just had kids, you got divorced, you're retiring. So we want to relate to people that are having that new go change in their life, and then build a sense of community around it. That's where the social aspect of it. So we want realtors to go in there and post videos about why it's so great to live in certain places or buy certain types of homes, and have a sense of community that people can share with. And even just yesterday, we just launched for the first time, thanks Anya, our Anewgo video, which we call like Anewgo in. Like yesterday was focused on Oklahoma City. So Anewgo in Oklahoma City. So why should you buy in Oklahoma City? You know, what are the factors in there? But it could be other things like Anewgo with maybe one of these days, Joanna Gaines. Let's say Anewgo with new kitchen design trends, or Anewgo with new construction financing, or and then like a Anewgo after having kids. And so we want to bring that sense of community and understanding of approaching them where the buyers are at in their lives. The other part of it too, with converging all this, is we can now do the end-to-end find, design, experience, and buy online. With this omni-channel journey, we want to have that single sign-on, so that as you sign on, whichever channel you start off and wherever you end, you can start where you left off, and everything comes with you in your private shopping portal. So in that portal, your shopping cart that traverses all these different channels and builders, you can save, compare, share, and collaborate with other co-buyers, realtors, and builders. And with that, you can converse in the way you want to do it, like that's what I'm saying, with multimodal and even using AI virtual assistants. And the one thing that we really offer for our users is that, unlike some other portals, we can provide free home listings, and free builder and realtor profile setups. So there's very little risk and a lot of We're going to make it easy for you. And so on the right there, you see our Anewgo network. This is not the HTT network. This is just basically telling you from a technology standpoint that we're really bringing all the stakeholders into the process. So I call it the 3Bs, builders, brokers, and buyers. They all have access to our Anewgo ecosystem, which has our different channels of portals, sales centers, and websites. That is the public facing piece where in that ecosystem, everything is connected. But then with each other, the builders may have a private relationship in their portal with the broker. So they could be, hey, here are VIP lists, here's community promotions, here's our commission terms and things like that. The brokers have a private portal that they share with their buyers because they're representing them. So they may say, hey, here are all your favorites. Let me help you design it and collaborate and everything. And the buyers will have a private thing with the builders of me, I want to design your homes, I want to price things. So everyone works in a public way, but they also work in a private way. And then all these little gray dots around it are all the systems that tie to the buyer. So if you come through Facebook or Gmail for buyers, we can bring some profiles there with you. Builders may have CRMs and ERPs are connected to it. So that data feeds into our ecosystem. Brokers may have special things with their brokerage commissions and things like that. So we want to bring everything in one place, and eventually other stakeholders like architects, landowners, and we already have like vendors, like people that help you with mortgage lending, insurance, buying your old homes, utility connections. We want to bring everybody to the party so the consumer has an end-to-end customer experience. So what is this stuff with AI? At a very basic level, I think of Google search as like the librarian and as the AI virtual assistants as the tutor. And what is the difference? I mean, obviously all of us use Google search. Google search, and thanks to the graphics here, that was created by DALL-E, which is a AI image creator. It shows Google search as almost like this librarian that has all these books of websites. Okay, so if you have a special request for a recipe or something, it'll bring you all these websites to bring you there, and it'll even roll up to you. So it'll roll it up in the top 10 on that page. The thing is, it's a manual process. Basically, the librarian says, go find it. And what it really specializes it with is giving you knowledge. Search is not about like a tutor or AI intelligence. It's really providing you knowledge. On the other side, the virtual assistants is like a tutor. Instead of you having to read through all these books to find that one special recipe for tonight's anniversary, it will just automatically just tell you. So it says, let me help you. And that's a very personalized conversation. Librarians really, in Google search, really answers the questions of who, what, when, where, and how. But the artificial intelligence answers why. Why should I buy from this builder? Why should I buy at this time? Why should I buy this price? Why should I buy for my family? Those are the tough questions that are hard to answer. And those are very personal versus the generic Google searches. The Google search is also a very tedious process, and it requires a lot of repeated, endless manual labor. So what happens is you make a search. Then the search gives you a bunch of websites. Now you have to go research each website, and they're all different, and you have to go dig through all that stuff to see if you can find the needle in the haystack. And if you can't find it, guess what? You have to research. And you just keep doing this until you go crazy, or until maybe you find the right needle in the haystack. But if you come back tomorrow, it's all different again, and you can't save it, you can't share it, you can't compare it. Whereas your tutor there, it's a very personalized thing, and it is endless in a sense, but it's endless in the sense that it has open-ended conversations. So you can keep asking more and more questions and get definitive answers in a personalized way, and it will memorize that for you to use later in our system. So one of the things I see in the future is AI virtual assistants will supersede Google manual searches, but even Google is switching from search engine marketing, SEM, to now they just introduced at their I/O conference last week, search generative experience. So they're going to start off with AI first, have a conversation, and then below the fold that you don't see are the 10 old links that if you want to still go and click on, have all day at it. So what happens is with virtual assistants in the shopping marketplace, you're going to have a personal home shopper on your new home shopping network. And basically, like the image there that the computers, that bot created, Zillow and Redfin already have created ChatGPT into their portal. So their portal can help you shop for the homes that you're looking for. We are going to do the same thing over here. The way it is, and on the right, there's the chart. The buyer is at the top of the funnel. They are the domain master. and they control the AI. The AI could be the virtual assistants, and right now there's like Google Bard and Bing ChatGPT. But if you need a specialist AI, those are the ones that maybe like tax specialists, attorneys, real estate experts, they can also come in at a certain stage that's necessary to help facilitate the transaction. But AI will have plugins to access the industry's bots, if you want to call it that. And for us, we call our AI assistant Sophie, because like our buyers, they're mostly sophisticated women. But like what's happening with ChatGPT and actually even Google too, they've had a plugin that goes into Instacart. So Instacart has all the connections that they've already built with grocery stores, drug stores, hardware stores, and they have all their different products and compensation rates and all those kind of things. They can now work with the AI to actually access all those stores. That's what we want to do with Anewgo and like other portals, is that we can now connect with the builders, brokerages, and even the MLSs, because we need to standardize that information to teach the AI virtual assistant the unique languages and terms of new home construction, and also to be able to access all that private, generic and private specific information for builders, pricing and all those kind of things, and brokers and MLS. So that's basically the setup for the marketplace. Now I want to pass this over to Sarah to kind of tell you the three main areas of the marketplace that we want to focus on: the find, design, and experience part.
Thanks, John. Yeah, there is a lot that John just covered. And now we're going to really do a little bit of a show and tell and kind of dive into what the actual marketplace looks like. You can jump on it. Anya threw it in chat, anewgo.com, so if you want to try it out yourself. But the first thing we're going to talk about is the search engine and the map. So what you can do here in Anewgo, you can, just like most portals, you can plug in the city and state that you're looking for. On the far right, it's going to come up and generate homes in that city and state. You can click on the home and it's going to tell you the neighborhoods that you can build in, so you can dive in. So of course, as we all know, builders can have floor plans that they can build in multiple neighborhoods. So if I'm looking in Raleigh, North Carolina, I'm going to plug that in. On the right-hand side, it's going to generate all the homes that can be built. If I grab a house, it's going to say, hey, Sarah Williams, do you want to build in this neighborhood or this neighborhood? They're both in Raleigh, North Carolina, but you can build this house in either or, and dive in. You can also, in that search bar, there's a little down arrow and you can search by community. So if I know the community that I'm most interested in, and as this is a loop here, Winslow Falls, I can click that neighborhood and type that in. It'll generate all the homes that are being built in Winslow Falls. So for my master plan community builders and developers that might be listening in, this means all your builders can generate right here, and all of the homes that you're building in these master plans can be generated. And the shopper can then start using the different filters, whether they can sort by price, bedrooms, bath counts, square footage counts. And that's also, there's a sort by drop down on the very far right under the filter. I can also search by quick move-ins. So if I need a house in the next 60 days or the next 90 days, I don't have time to build, I can also go through and look at the search engines, find all the quick move-ins for a specific community or a specific area. Like in this example, we were using Raleigh, North Carolina. I can also draw on the map. And if I draw on the map, it literally will zoom into the area that I'm looking in. And on the far right, it's going to generate all of the different homes available in my drawn area. So again, I think a lot of folks on this call might be used to drawing on a map. If you haven't used it, definitely jump on anewgo.com and try it out. And last but not least, for the search engine and map, we have build on your own lot. So literally you can click on the filter for build on your own lot and pick the county, and it'll generate by the county. You can see all the different homes and builders that you can build on your own lot in the county that you own your land in. So that'll help really narrow it down. So that's the search engine and map feature that we're offering. Let's move over to smart filters. Smart filters, if you've listened to any of the other podcasts or webinars that we've done, you will know that I, Sarah Williams, love smart filters. It's my most favorite feature. And the reason why is because I'm obsessed with real estate and I go onto all the other portals all the time. Literally, I get notifications from all of them, realtor.com, Zillow. But my biggest frustration is the only filters they really have are bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage. And Zillow has added a few, like garage or no garage. So there's very few. I have to look and read in the description, and the hopes is whoever listed that house does a really good job in the description to see if it has all the other things I want, or go through every photo and try to discern what it has. So in Anewgo, our smart filters literally allow you to find the needle, as John has said earlier in his introduction, a needle in the haystack, letting me find homes with mudrooms, homes with built-in cubbies, homes with flex space. I mean, I've got 3 kids and an age gap of 11 years between them. So we're in teenagers and toddlers right now. So my needs will look different than Anya's needs or John's needs, he's an empty nester. So what I'm looking for is very specific things. What John would look for is very specific. In Anewgo Marketplace, we have those granular filters. Now you can also search by community filters. I might want a community pool or a playground because I have small kids. John might want to play pickleball. He doesn't play pickleball, but maybe he wants a pickleball or play tennis, right? Maybe Anya wants, walking trails or running trails because she's a runner, or she likes to go out and take walks. This Anewgo Marketplace smart filters will actually help you generate those. If I'm looking for a specific home style, Anya might like modern, I might like traditional, and John might like craftsman style. In Anewgo Marketplace, you can actually search with the smart filters for those types of style homes. Builders. If I love national builders, I just love the brand of Toll Brothers because they literally started up in my backyard in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. I will look for Toll Brothers. Maybe John's like, I have lived in Raleigh most of my life. I want to look for local builders. So whatever the shopper's tendencies are, they will actually be able to filter with our smart filters based on what they're looking for. If they don't care, that's fine too. They don't have to pick out all the filters that we're talking about, but there is no other marketplace that has this granular search than Anewgo.com, which again, I love it. I've banged my head against the wall many times trying to find my very specific house that I'm looking for. And it gets really grueling. And guess what? I close the window and I opt out. And I know a lot of people listening in and our shoppers feel the same way that I know I've experienced. So the smart filters, like I mentioned, is near and dear to my heart because it will save the shopper tons of time and bring up, John mentioned, that small builder competing with the national or the national builder that has those unique options and filters, and also educate the buyers on what's available. A lot of buyers don't even know that they could get a mudroom. They don't know they could have a walk-in pantry. They've been living with their small, not even have a pantry. Most people don't even have pantries. You could tell me I could get a walk-in pantry. I'm like, sold. I need a new construction house. And that's what this is about, is educating the public. So in Anewgo Marketplace, obviously we have the filters, but we also have a quiz. So again, every shopper likes to shop a little bit different. So in our quiz, it allows the shopper to decide on, getting back to like what we just talked about with the filters, they can talk to us and tell us where they want to live, location. They can tell us what they desire in their community or their home builder. They can tell us what the lifestyle, if there is, certain amenities that are really a requirement or they're on their wish list. They can tell us if they need assistance, if they need a mortgage broker, if they need to get pre-approved, if they need a real estate agent. We will have in this quiz as it goes through, it's literally going through those filters that we just talked about and in a quiz format. The beauty of all of this, guys, is that I can sign in and create a profile, or you could sign in and create a profile and save all my preferences, and then tell Anewgo how often you want to get notified when a home, community, or home builder that matches your search either shows up on the marketplace, actually is added, maybe a new phase, a community, a new builder is added that meets those criteria. You can get served up, whether it's daily, weekly, or monthly. You can get an email notification. It'll be in the app. So if you log in, it'll be there under preferences and recommendations.
Yeah, I like to say sometimes it's the match.com for houses instead of spouses. And it does get very exciting, and you would also get a notification if you set that up to daily or weekly. And it's great because it eliminates that fear of missing out. That, oh, I didn't search yesterday. Oh, did I miss out on something? Well, the notification will tell you, hey, don't worry, you didn't miss anything yesterday, so I didn't notify you, but tomorrow it may notify you. So that puts a little peace of mind, adds a little excitement. It's kind of like your little Facebook notifications. And the other thing about setting up the quiz, maybe you don't have time to finish all 17 steps of it because you're not at the step of I need a lender yet. You can hit the match me at any time in recommendations. So it really makes it convenient. I think the consumers of today, especially if they've been in the online dating game, this is what they're used to. But even like with Uber or even like, finding a movie on Netflix, they're used to recommendations. And what we want to do is not to eliminate the customer journey, but we want to simplify it for them. Shopping for a home should be exciting, but it should not be a burden that you have to go to every day.
Totally agree. And John, I've told you stories. It literally, if I go to a community and it has 6 builders and each builder has 6 houses, I, the shopper, don't have time to go through 36 houses to find and kind of discern which one's going to work best for me. And, and I don't necessarily want to talk to a person. I want to kind of figure this out. And with the smart filters and everything in the match and notify, that literally could happen in 3 seconds.
And I would also say that in addition to the buyers doing this themselves, the sales agent could be at the community center using the smart filter, or even some of the marketing people are telling me, wow, I didn't even know that we had some of these options because they're not reading all the floor plans. The smart filters tell you which plans have what, so that you can write the right things for it. And we're going to use AI to even help that more. But also real estate agents who are representing their buyers. One is they don't want to go search high and low and all these websites for the right house. They can ask the quiz with their buyer, and then they can use smart filters to find the right ones. And maybe the match and notify recommends 50 homes, but you as the agent know specifically like, well, only 20 of these homes really match their true needs. And so you use the agents can use that as a starting point. Same with the salespeople.
John, let's carry this over and talk about how does Find help our home builders that are listening in.
Well, first of all, the find in the portal space and the marketplace, it really does attract that larger audience. Hopefully, as people start to become aware of Anewgo and how it's focused on new homes, there would be a little viral aspect to that to help us grow, as well as maybe some partnerships that we're looking into. But, we can reach a larger audience around the world because we start off with visualizations, and that's a common language across all demographics and cultures. And that can really attract them to your products that you probably couldn't reach through Google. And now with Google, on top of losing AI and changing themselves, and they're going to go cookieless next year, you really don't even know who you're reaching, how to reach them, and how to reach them back. So we hope that using a marketplace like this will attract that larger audience. The other part of it is, we really want to continue that engagement. If they're excited, and I think, you look at the stats, 2/3 of the people want to buy new homes. I mean, just like they want new cars, new shoes, new phone. But in other portals, because they're probably more used home centric, they put the new nice things in the back in the closet, and you can't find it. And even if you could find it there, you don't really see it in all its glory. You can't design it. I mean, what other industry do you start off with showing old stuff to sell new stuff, or not even to sell new stuff? We need to bring the new stuff right to the front, capture the 2/3 of the people that are actually interested in buying new, instead of losing 85% of them, because only 10 to 15% actually buy new. So instead of builders competing and beating each other up, let's take the market share back from the used homes and where the customers actually want. And part of that comes with the ability to do it themselves 24/7 online. And now you can use even some AI assistants. And if they're really engaged, well, first of all, we have this higher customer retention because they're not going to just drop out because they're frustrated and they can't find what they're looking for. But with these automated recommendations and notifications and keeping them in the loop, when they're ready, they can still contact the OSC to have that personalized conversation, but they're much more curated leads. The sellers aren't starting from scratch. They're not starting from a position of inquiries and all, because they've already looked across many different builders. They specified specifically what they're looking for. So to go and re-interview them for the 15th time by the 10th person, it's not, or the 15th time by the 15th person, it's a bad experience. What we also hope that allowing them to find and do the stuff online is it allows them to move themselves down the online sales funnel. And all of this on the back end, we capture the insights. We have better insights into what the consumer is doing, when they're doing it, how they're doing it, how many favorites they've saved, what exactly they designed, how engaged they are. All those better insights provides better customer service. It enables you to improve your marketing, it improves your product offerings. It may even say that, hey, yeah, you were saved in their top 10, but you're number 8. And why is that? Well, because they don't really like, they keep looking for outdoor kitchen. You don't offer that. And so you may now know where you stack up relative to the competition. We may not tell you what the competition, who the competition is, but we can say, these are the things that you don't check all their boxes with.
A lot of the builders I talk to have some turnover and they have new hires. This is a great tool, guys, to have your new salespeople know what the products and know what the competition is. Someone asks, like, how does this help me if there's no builders in my market or no communities in my market right now or listings? That's we're trying to penetrate every city, but for those markets that are, and for our builders that are using us, this is a great tool to see who else is on the marketplace, what all they offer. But also for me, for my, for new salespeople, this is a great training tool because they don't know your products inside and out. They're brand new to builder XYZ. So this is a great tool that you can have them do the sort and filter when they're kind of getting these questions, like which house has a mudroom with lockers. They could find that like in 2 seconds versus calling up, their fellow salesperson and asking all these questions. Again, technology is about saving time and moving the ball faster down the court. And this tool is really going to help our builders do that.
Yes, that online market research is going to be very critical for how you market your homes, how you feed AI. Traditionally, builders have just had the content, have the analytics for just their websites, and it's actually not very good analytics because Google anonymizes everything. So you don't even know who clicked on what and much less what they're doing. When we do it at a market level, research level, you can see how you are comparing to the market, not just yourself. And you can see the most popular square footages and bedrooms and price points and all that. So instead of just getting what I call latent survey post-transaction data, like a lot of other places may offer, we want to give you real-time shopping behavior, because what you ended up with is may not be indicative of what actually people wanted and where you could actually make more profit and quicker sales and had competitive advantages. So when we can show real-time shopping behavior, you can now adjust to the market in real time. And like you can see 5 people are interested in lot 2. Well, maybe you can raise the price on lot 2 because you got a lot of interest and move somebody to lot 1 where nobody's looking at or whatever. Those are kind of things that we want to introduce to this industry that's already prevalent in the airline industry, hotel industry, meet supply and demand. And define information will be very critical to that.
And we have a couple of questions here. So similar questions from Nini and Adrian. And it's about what cities, markets we're currently in, and how effective is Marketplace if there are no listings, other builders signed up in the markets I serve. So right now we have over 250 builders on our platform, and currently they are our customers who use Anewgo interactive design tools. So they're automatically represented on a platform. And I believe we're in 31 states, but we are working to add non-clients to the platform. So John, do you want to address that one?
Yeah, so, we're just starting out. Obviously Zillow has been around since 2006 and all the other ones have, been around for a long time as well. So we're just starting out, and we started out from our current client base, which is using the interactive design options. We have just loaded, if some of you may be familiar with like BDX feeds or Zillow feeds, static content, because that's all they can offer. You can't design these homes, but people want to design these homes. So now we're feeding that in, and I guess I'll give you a sneak peek of that in our last slide here, but that brings in their inventory homes. And then as we feed in other stuff, we will continue to populate. Now, our bread and butter has traditionally been the custom home builders and the smaller local builders because they don't have the tech staff and they don't have, frankly, the bureaucracy. We do a lot of content for the national builders, but it takes a lot for them to change everything. But I think as this hopefully takes hold, and as realtors, we're going to actually right after this meeting, we're meeting with realtors for the first time, and they want to use this because they want to sell new homes, but they don't want to sell new homes. So we're going to, as they start to bring more people in there, hopefully it brings a bigger audience, and hopefully that brings more builders, and then and hopefully we grow. Right now we have I think 285 builders of all different sizes. I'm hoping that maybe by the end of the year we're 400 or 500.
Right. And if you go to anewgo.com, there's a map and it actually is colored in on all the states that we are currently in. You'll see there's like a handful, like we said, 36 or 31 states. Anya, is that what it was? We have 31 states.
I think
so
we're going to add Nebraska very
and
soon, and we're adding Connecticut. So it's every week we're adding more. And I think we have 15,000 plus designable homes, which is probably, well, nobody even has designable homes. So we're 15,000 ahead already, but we're going to bring even more.
So design, this is our secret sauce, guys. This is what Anewgo is all about. We started out as a visualization company. So in Anewgo Marketplace, you have the ability to design, shoppers have the ability to design, real estate agents, anybody that comes into our marketplace can design homes for our designable homes. John just said we're going to be adding static, which are non-designable homes in there. But for the most part, everything right now in there is designable. So we have color tools, we have interactive floor plans that you can add pricing or not add pricing, literally, so someone can configure the home exactly the way they want. And we also have interior color tools. So interior color tools, that'll allow someone to come in and design their kitchens and their bathrooms with the colors that they're looking for. That literally is our secret sauce here. You can create digital brochures and literally see everything that you've designed. This is all inside Anewgo Marketplace. So I just pick the color of my house. I pick the options that I want. Those options had pricing, and now I can see everything in a brochure. I can print it or send it to someone that I care about that might care about what I'm designing, like my co-buyer, my spouse. And that's really what this is all about, is creating. We have stories, guys, that people take these digital brochures and walk into builders' offices and like, this is what I want to build. That's how impactful having these design tools available to home shoppers are. This is a copy of, or just an example of our kitchen designer. Now, when you go into Anewgo Marketplace or any of our builders, they didn't necessarily subscribe to all the things, right? So if you go into a builder and they don't have a kitchen or a bath to design, that means that builder has not invested in those additional tools yet. But they might have color tool and floor plan, or they might have a picture of the house and an interactive floor plan and a kitchen tool. So there's a variety. So for my home builders listening, it's not, you don't have to go all in on all the things. Whatever you decide to work with Anewgo for visualization tools, we will add that into the marketplace. And then you can add over time if you want. And if you don't want to, that's okay too. But it creates a whole experience.
Yes, and part of that secret sauce is a lot of people think that we have hundreds of people that are sitting there manually creating all these things. No, we're using, now that AI has proven that they use AI generative content, our AI is generating these colors on the fly. So we don't rely, that's just why we can scale. So once people start signing up, we can onboard them a lot quicker than any other content creator.
So right now it takes you through the creation of brochure, but the next step forward is going to be that buy now process. So you'll be able to eventually complete the whole transaction right on the website. So whether you come in through anewgo.com or you go to the builder's website, you'll be able to complete that whole transaction as more builders sign up for buy now.
All right, let's move on to home site selection. And this is really about interactive site maps. Some of our builders use our interactive site maps. And this is, and maybe you don't right now, maybe use a static site map, but this will show you how impactful being able to use an interactive site map inside of a marketplace is. It allows you to see the status, what's sold, what's available, what's pending, or where the model home is. You can also pick the house and start designing and know which homes can be built on a certain lot. So I can go in and start designing. If it's an inventory home, I can see exactly what the house costs, the address of the house, and dial in. I can filter by square footage of the lot. I can filter by the construction status of the homes. And also I can say, show me where all of these homes, if I'm interested in the Fairmont floor plan, I can hit the scroll bar and see where I can build the Fairmont inside of a neighborhood. So it's pretty impactful, and it's all about being immersive, guys. It's all about giving someone more information and communicating it in a way that matters to them. And that's what the interactive site map experience is really about, is giving more information versus just a lick it and stick it sold sign, which I know we had pins in my day. I go back 20 years now. Anya, I know you know what I'm talking about.
The fake holds, that was the go-to.
This is interactive and live, and it can tie to ERP, so it can happen in real time and connect to your back office. All right, let's get into it. Anya already gave you a sneak peek. real-time pricing. And we just did, if you missed our webinar on pricing, you definitely need to check that out. But what we have in Anewgo Marketplace is pricing. So on most builder websites and in most current portals, you just have starting from 350,000 or starting from 1 million. Here at Anewgo, we have every elevation rendered, and we can show the base pricing for every elevation. We can also show home site premiums, if in fact you have home site premiums and you share that with your shoppers. We can also show floor plan pricing and have that tied in. And Anya already gave a sneak peek at that what's coming. So in italics on our slide here, monthly payments will be coming. So in our Anewgo My Home app, which is on our builders' websites, they have mortgage calculators and monthly payment. That's coming soon to the marketplace, and also the ability to reserve now or buy now, depending on you, the builder, what you're comfortable with. So pricing is imperative to have in order to get someone to reserve something and or buy something online. So if you don't currently put pricing out there for your shoppers, that would be the obvious first step in talking through how you would execute that. And there's a lot of different ways you can execute that with Anewgo that we are currently doing with our clients, and I can work with you on that. That's part of my job.
Yeah, so
Okay.
with the buy now piece, again, your salesperson or your realtor can also use this as just a way to quickly expedite the transaction in an online digital way, just like with credit cards and, and ACH transfers, things like that.
And someone asked about colors. For our design tool, our exterior design tool, we have every major paint vendor and manufacturer in North America in our back end, which will allow you, someone's at James Hardie or Sherwin-Williams paint, literally every color that James Hardie has or their paint colors, we have all of that. We have roofing, we have siding, we have all side, we have all the brands that you know and love are already in our back end. That's our job to provide that for you. So you don't have to go out and source those colors.
And we have the biggest library for probably brick and stone as well. A lot of people are using that to help sell these, $20,000 upgrades or whatever. And just a little secret between the few of us here, our biggest client is actually Sherwin-Williams. They were getting so many paint sales because people are designing it themselves that we've been doing an app for them for the last 4 years. And so we think that this will continue to help the buyers understand the different offer and materials and then different vendors that you may highlight. Why should you care? Okay, first of all, like I said, it engages the prospects. I mean, you want them to fall in love and they start to really redo this, really get involved. But they do this because it reduces the risk of buying something sight unseen, and the frustration of not being able to visualize their new homes and share it. And this really builds trust, especially when you can show pricing and lot premiums and things like that. And it really will generate leads. The reason it generate leads is because for them to save it and share it, they have to register. And especially they use match and notified, so they can get notified of even more homes that they like this. They will that will generate great leads for you to follow up on, and it curates them because they're moving them down the sales funnel that frankly they don't need the salesperson or the realtor to get involved with. Who wants to get involved with trying to decide the cabinet colors between the husband and wife at 2 o'clock in the morning? Let them figure out that stuff. Let them decide whether they want to spend the money on a quartz countertop or a hardwood floor. They can make those dollar decisions, and they can just say, hey, well, maybe we want both. We'll move to a cheaper lot. Let them figure that stuff out. And then when they come to you, it's not to sell the house, it's to deliver the house. And this also creates an element of viral marketing, because when they register through their Facebook account, whatever, they can share on Facebook, they can share on Twitter, they can share through email. And when your customers are sharing their baby's ultrasound as it's growing up and asking for, what do you think about in blue? What do you think about in red or whatever? That creates free viral marketing for you, that you don't have to go and chase down their friends and family. And again, all this provides better insights, which products are selling, which are not.
We talked a lot about personalization and creating an experience. And that's what Anewgo is all about, guys, is we're here to make it fun. Anya uses it all the time. We're bringing the fun back to new home shopping, or just making shopping for anything that you
put the fun in funnel.
The buyer's portal is really where everyone saves everything that they're doing. So we talked about creating your preferences earlier. It's also about saving your favorites. It's about designing your homes and saving that and sharing that with your loved ones and comparing. So all of that, when I can go in, and then John brought it up earlier, start where I left off, come back in and be like, oh, what was that builder's name? I don't have to guess now. And we all know what that feels like. It's all saved in the home shopper's preferences. So they're able to really dive in. They can log in, as you can see here, and go back and see everything that they did. Anewgo's been using AI or artificial intelligence for a long time to create our color tools and our color renderings on the fly. But what we're also looking to add to this, and we're already working on it, is the ability to help our builders generate content and descriptions for your homes and your communities. Because we have technology that scans all of your floor plans and creating those smart filters. We have all the details on your communities, on your homes, and the styles of homes that you're building. So we're able to auto generate descriptions about your communities and about your homes. So your marketers.
Yeah, let me just interrupt here. This
Please.
whole paragraph here was not even edited by us. It was all generated by the AI.
Yeah.
And so this could save a lot of time for the marketing person, because one, they don't want to go read all these floor plans for all these data tags about the features of the floor plan, and then to now write it specifically for that community and that plan. And so basically it's writing that stuff.
Yeah. And the smart filters, just to be clear, if I wasn't clear before, we have technology that scans all of your floor plans. So you, the builder, and my marketers that are listening, are not having to decide which tags you want to add. Now, of course, you can see all of our tags and want to add even more tags. It's probably not going to be necessary, but you could do that. But that's what is going to help you create this AI generated content.
Yeah, and that's an important point, because a lot of people say, oh, this is all great, but as a marketing person, I don't have the resource to do all that stuff. Well, you don't need to, because our AI has already read all your floor plans, has already created a dictionary, has even created the thesaurus, so that lanai is called a screen port somewhere else. It's already created that, and it's also doing all the renderings on the fly.
Correct. Also, personal tours, or the ability to add Matterport tours. And of course, Anewgo creates 3D virtual tours just off of your CAD files. So we're able to create all of that. So really creating that experience and that immersive situation. All right, let's get into collaboration. And we've talked a little bit about this, but the ability in Anewgo Marketplace, which again is completely different right now. In all the other marketplaces, I could share a house and ask Anya, I can send it to her via text, hey, check out this house I just found. In Anewgo Marketplace, it's completely different. You can absolutely share a house via email or text with Anya, but you can also say, let's collaborate. Show me what design you would create on this house, Anya. Look at the house I just designed. She could rate the house, I could rate the house, and then we can bring John in and he can rate the house. And the three of us can actually have a live chat inside of that specific house's profile. And we can go back and forth and have a communication. So we have instant messaging already built in. So all of these things, the ratings, instant message, the sharing and co-designing with each other. I can also, this was a big thing for me when we were designing this tool. I was like, I don't want my husband overwriting my design. He can design his own house. And they're like, don't worry, Sarah, you can have read-only access or write access. Write meaning write over what you designed, or read that your husband cannot disrupt what you created. So if anyone was panicked about that, that was one of my first things. I was like, I don't want someone overwriting what I just did. We have that ability too. So if you haven't tried it, you absolutely should jump on anewgo.com and check it out.
Well, let me just highlight a little bit thing here. Okay, so you can also compare favorites, because at the end of the day, you're only going to buy one house, so you can compare it together. And like you're saying, you can do instant messaging here. So it's immediate. You don't have to download an app for that. Everybody that you invited can immediately do this across their web browser. And ultimately, we're going to also offer SMS texting thing if you want to opt in on that, so that you can get notifications. So you can see it now on your smartphone. You can see all the ratings that people have given it. So if all the stars align and everybody has 5 stars, then as a realtor or as a builder, you say, hey, this person's in love with me, they're ready to go. If you start to see some with 2s and 3s and somebody else has a 5, you can now address the ones that have 2s and 3s. So you know, as a salesperson, how to approach each customer, each favorited house, each favorited community, and each favorited builder.
I'm just so jealous. I didn't have this stuff when I was selling homes. Imagine as a salesperson.
Well, I'm glad you weren't, because you wouldn't be, you wouldn't come here.
Sure that.
Okay, so how does experience help builders? I really think what we want to do is generate excitement. You know, right now when people buy new, it's like, I want to buy new. Oh, I hate buying new. We want them to continue that excitement, because, you know, it's a new baby for them. And it really, what it does is it improves communication. Marketing is really about connecting buyers and sellers. And what we want to do is improve the communication of the message for your brand and your products to the consumers. And we don't want them to tail off because you didn't provide enough interaction with them. So it really answers a lot of questions for the customers in the middle of the night. They can take a virtual tour and say, hey, What does it look like from the other side of the room? What does it look like with furniture? What does it look like without furniture? What does it look like if I take out the fireplace, and they can visually see it change? I mean, you can see the prices. And so it really makes it a fun customer experience, but it really addresses a lot of their questions, and questions that maybe even your salespeople can't answer, because they can't express it visually. The nice thing for marketing and maybe even salespeople, it can auto-generate marketing content. I mean, even down to the salesperson. I know that this particular person has these particular needs. Take those particular matching criterion and write me a sales pitch back to them in an email campaign, and pull up the right content that matches that color design with those floor plan options and all that stuff. We're going to make this an online collaborative experience that continues to reduce the risk and improve the engagement. It really starts to create a sense of ownership when you can experience in an immersive way, not just a virtual model home, but your virtual model home. You start to take ownership of it, and you want to share it. And I really think it would help with sales conversions, and then it's going to provide better insights. We're going to try to change pay per click to pay per lead. And how does that happen? Well, we're going to provide, with those matching criterion, the builders are also going to put in what their ideal clients are. So they're going to follow buyer's profile in a sense of who their ideal client is. And then when those two things match up, there's going to be a match score. And then engagement score is how engaged the buyers are with your products and your website or the portal. Those me scores, I call it match and engagement scores, will now tell you the good, bad, and ugly leads. And what you would then pay for, you're only going to pay for performance, unlike pay per click, where you're just doing shotgun advertising. And if you get no responses, you think, oh, I just need to spend more money on it. Well, Google's playing you. You shouldn't have to bid for your lead. You should only pay for the leads that you get. And so what happens is, in the bottom left, if you have a low match score and a low engagement score, that's actually an ugly lead. So what do you do with that? Just use a dancing analogy. You want to hand that lead off. You don't want to dance with it anymore. You want to pass that to your competitors, because your trash may be their treasure, which actually helps you competitively, because they're busy doing the stuff, instead of trying to take the business away from you, they're satisfied with what you gave them. And maybe their trash is your treasure. So what would you do? What would you pay for that lead? You pay nothing. You just want to redirect that lead to the right people, right competitors. The bottom right is a bad lead. They're high engagement. I mean, they want to dance, but they're not a good dancer with you. They're a low match. So what you want to do there, you want to take the lead. You want to gently guide them your way. Oh, okay. You really want that house, but you can't afford that lot. Well, maybe you don't care about living underneath the power lines. Well, maybe I'll shift you over to the power line one, and you can afford that big house. So you gently guide them, and you'll pay maybe $1 for that lead. Now on the upper left is a good lead. They're high match. I mean, you guys are meant for each other, but there's very low engagement. They're passive, they're lazy, they're shy. What you want to do there is you want to cut in on that dance. You want to get your best wingman, which is your salesperson, to sweep them off their feet. And you'll pay a couple of bucks for that lead. And then the great lead is the one that's a high match and a high engagement. They're on autopilot. They're dancing with themselves. What you don't want to do is you don't want to step on their feet. You just let them lead, and you'll pay $3 for that lead. And so what you want to do is you want to take your ugly leads, kick them out. You want to take the good lead and bad lead, keep on the dance floor, but move them to be a great lead. And what you get to see this on our back-end insights, because the bottom right is the actual engagement score. So you can see how your dance is going with each of those buyers. So, when you get to the 90 percentile, hey man, they're ready to buy. This will guide you along the way, give you notifications. And so these are the marketplace advantages. You pay per lead instead of paying per click. That way you don't waste any money, and you don't waste money on people that are just shopping you or looking for a job or not a good match. You're only going to pay for performance, and you're going to pay only for the type of leads that you want. And this will give you a greater reach, because hopefully there'll be more eyeballs and more buyers that want to come to this because of this great customer experience, which will bring in more content providers, which will bring in more realtors and more people, and hopefully builds on itself. All this will now, as we get to scale, lower the cost. We're not brokerage, we're not taking commissions from you if you're a realtor. We're not even charging you for advertising and listings. So that's a great thing. This hopefully will lead to higher sales conversions with less effort. Obviously, it's important to be concerned about your customers. You want to provide a greater customer experience, because at the end of the day, even if they buy from you, you want them to recommend you. You want them to share with you. You want them to rave about you. All this will translate to more profit short-term and long-term. And again, it's all about the data. You provide better insights. So the next time you do it better. Why should you be in our marketplace? I really believe it is the future. from a tech standpoint, from the consumer behavior standpoint, better customer experience. I think it's going to reduce the risk, which will help with sales. We're going to utilize AI to the hilt because it's going to take our data for insights. It's going to take our data to improve the customer shopping experience in real time and a personalized level. It's going to provide better curated lead. It's also going to connect with the realtors there, and the realtors want a better way to sell new homes, and we want them to be notified of your community's VIP, new phase, new products, and new promotions. We want to do this automatically, so you don't, as a marketing person, don't have to spend much time to do this. And if you're in our app, you're automatically in across our whole ecosystem. It's going to obviously grow a bigger audience. It's going to provide an end-to-end customer journey, omni-channel. And we're exclusively new homes. And to make it even better, because you're jumping off a cliff here, are you jumping into something you're going to die, or you're just going to enjoy the beach? We're doing this with free listings, free leads, free upgrades. Every time we upgrade something, it's immediate across all the platforms. So it's really risk-free. So you have tons to gain. You don't have to worry about being left behind, and with very little cost. And you can opt out at any time. We're not holding you hostage to this. We want you to be here.
Let's get listed. Everybody's invited, guys. So we want all builders. We want all real estate agents. Of course, we want all potential new construction buyers to be on this platform. You're automatically on if you're an Anewgo app client or you're using our interactive tools. Anewgo clients that have static renderings, you can just give me a shout, Sarah@anewgo.com, or you can just reply to this recording or come to us to our website and I can help you get listed automatically. And then we also have data feeds for those folks that do not use us, that want to be on, that have inventory homes or have static content. We can use BDX feeds with Zillow feeds or APIs. So we're happy to get you guys on. And real estate agents that are listening, Andrew put in the chat, Andrew@anewgo.com. We have a lot of exciting things for our real estate partners, but we have a lot of exciting things that we're going to be launching for our real estate partners. So definitely reach out to us so we can get connected.
I know we've covered a lot of information today, so thank you so much for those of you who stayed till the very end. We appreciate your time. If you have any questions at all, please reach out to Sarah. It's Sarah@anewgo.com. So she'll be happy to answer any of your questions related to Anewgo.com. But most importantly, just jump on, check it out. As we mentioned, right now we have 280 active builders in there, and we're in 31 states and growing every single day. I mean, every single day I log in and something new is happening. So our goal is to grow this as much as we can so that we have all the builders on board, realtors, and of course, your customers, so we can provide the best leads possible. Thank you so much again for staying on with us. Appreciate you. And if you have any questions, submit them to Sarah. We'll be happy to address those. And then also any topics you'd like us to explore in the future, we are all ears. We're here to make sure that we deliver the most relevant information for you, that it's timely to help you sell more homes. Thank you again for joining us today, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.